Hi, I go by the moniker of High Radical here on YouTube. I believe this issue that's described as gay marriage is of great import. Presently in California, there's been a storm brewing for a while, and it's about to clash on the issue, and that's coming up this November 4th, Election Day, 2008. Now, both sides have been taking shots at each other. Both sides are marshaling their forces and resources and trying to win hearts and minds of anyone and everybody they can to support their side on this. I've been closely following the claims and counterclaims on both sides, and generally I've not seen a comprehensive and satisfying point by point on either side. Both sides have flaws in presentation, and I'm not pretending that I'm neutral on the thing of flaws, or that I'm neutral on this issue, nor that my response will be any kind of magnum opus or complete addressing of this issue. But I do think I have a significant amount to contribute to this, and I hope you'll give me a few minutes of your time, even if you don't think this issue is important, and even more so if you do think this issue is important. If you're looking for a short, snappy soundbite of addressing of this topic, or fancy production values, or an emotion-filled stirring propaganda regarding one side or the other, then I recommend you go elsewhere. I'm making this video for serious dialogue, for a nuanced and a thought-out response to the issue. I desire openness and dialogue, but if you're going to start commenting on this video, I would ask that you, without watching all of this video and the video series here, I would ask that you refrain from commenting. The issue here is something that will affect humanity from this point and indefinitely into the future. And seeing as things on the internet have a bit longer shelf life than a lot of us think they will when we first start commenting on the internet, I recommend thoughtfulness and a cool approach when addressing this issue. Also, I plan to address a great deal, so while you may think you've found me, you may think you've caught me in a doozy, just kind of hold off here. Please wait till the end and be sure that I don't address your counterpoint at some point in this series. This helps to keep you from looking like a presumptive fool, and it also keeps the comment section on the video from getting overly cluttered, or even more cluttered than it would become normally. I'll be stating things as I see them, so I'm not pretending to not have any bias here. That doesn't mean my points are not without substance or rational support. So I'm going to be clear on here and state my view, and that is, I hope that if you're a citizen of California, or if you can influence a citizen of California, that by the end of this, or at some point in this, well, of course by the end of this, but if it starts at some point earlier, then that's fine too, that you will want to vote yes, and that you will vote yes on Proposition 8. Now please note, I'm going to try to accentuate which side is which, since both sides claim to be pro-family and pro-marriage, and both are right insofar as they see the definitions to these terms differently. I'm going to say, those in favor of keeping the redefined version of marriage the way it was redefined by the courts, by them claiming that this is the way it should be according to the Constitution, both Massachusetts, California, and now Connecticut courts. I'm going to define them just simply as the no on Prop 8 crowd. Well, those who are seeking to restore the definition of marriage to what it was by explicitly changing the Constitution of California through an amendment are the yes on Prop 8 crowd. So, Proposition 8, for anybody who doesn't know, seeks to define marriage as between only one man and one woman in the state of California. One of the first claims made by those opposing Proposition 8 is the claim that it will, quote, take away their right, unquote, and thereby it is discrimination that's being written into the Constitution. I'm going to say something here that might shock some who wouldn't expect this from a Proposition 8 supporter, but these claims are, in one technical sense, true. Now, before you go off and think I'm some hateful homophobe or that I'm some close-minded bigot, please allow me to explain why and how these claims are true, how they're in a sense true, but more importantly, why they are not so horrible, why this discrimination is not the same kind of discrimination, why these words aren't the same as the emotions that they often bring to the minds of people when they just hear these words. We all don't like the general theme that comes to mind when we hear the term inequality or prejudice or discrimination. Many atrocities and travesties have been committed because of applications of all three of these. Inequality, prejudice, and discrimination bring to mind the sad and long travails of people of color and the various persecuted minorities throughout the history of mankind. These affronts to justice are still fresh in the minds and the social cognition of even the United States, where our standards of liberty and justice for all have been stained by evil things, even in recent times. Racial prejudice is an affront to the dignity of man. That is true regardless of whether you believe man is a creation of the divine or strictly the result of the blind watchmaker, or both. But how, you ask, can I say that the discrimination and lack of equality in any degree is okay or acceptable in this case? The reason can be found in the fact that we discriminate all the time in our society. You do it, every one of you do it. Discriminate in its most basic meaning simply to tell apart. You've likely heard the term discriminating taste. It's a term we use to say someone has good taste. You may also ask how inequality could possibly be okay. Yet certain types of inequality are all over the place and accepted by virtually everyone. Even you are okay with certain types of inequality. Don't believe me? Consider this. You've heard the term separate but not equal. Well, public restrooms have separation throughout society. Sometimes we even separate beyond the genders and make a third one for parents and children. These are all separate and, in some sense, unequal. Look at the medical field. We have entirely separate and unequal branches of science. That's unequal in the sense that they're looking at different things. They're not the same. That study health as it relates to women, we even have doctors that uniquely specialize in treating women. And then we have another side that unequally, again, in the sense that it just treats men. In fact, there has been a significant movement in medicine in recent years regarding the inequality between the genders. We're coming to realize that even common medical issues have significant differences between the genders. To some degree, things are trending, and there being a whole new caveats for many parts of human medicine because up to this point they've kind of ignored in a lot of things that we didn't think gender mattered. We're finding out it does. Heart, health, a whole wide range of issues. There's clearly a lack of equality between the genders in medicine, and it's obvious that we are unequal in how we're built and how our bodies function. But of course that doesn't mean we should be treated differently under the law, does it? I mean, we shouldn't condemn someone more if they do something just because they belong to one gender or another. That's pretty clear. But wait, think about pregnant women. Or what about physical differences between men and women when they confront functions carried out by our government? Regardless of how you believe we were created, there are significant physical differences, and those differences impact society. Men and women can do virtually anything that the other can do, but we have different biological and societal tendencies. Gender matters when it comes to both physical build, suitability, for certain tasks. And while there are certainly aspects of gender identity, and quite a number of them, that are strictly transmitted by culture, there are other differences, real differences, that are innate and are tied to our biology. So how does this all play back into Proposition 8 and the idea of marriage? Well, one side, those who want you to vote no on 8, they say that marriage is about two people loving each other and committing to spend their lives together.